Welcome back to your geography class. Today we shall be discussing about weathering, different types of weathering, and the formation and conservation of soil. So let's get started with today's class. Now, the Earth's surface keeps changing or transforming. Over a million of years, mountains have become flat plains, small streams have changed into large rivers, and these rivers have become canyons. All of this is a result of weathering. Now, weathering is caused by wind, water, glaciers, etc., that we've already dealt with in the previous class. They are called the agents of gradation. Now, these agents of gradation start to break up rocks or the landform that is exposed to the surface. There are basically three types of weathering: mechanical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. Before we get into the details, let's first see what is weathering. So, weathering is the disintegration and decomposition of the rocks at or near the surface of the earth. As in, weathering is a process by which the rocks exposed on the surface get broken up into smaller particles. Keep in mind that disintegration is the breaking up of rocks into fragments, while decomposition is the decay of rocks due to chemical action. Weathering and gradation are different from each other. Most of the times we confuse between them. However, weathering and gradation are different. Firstly, weathering is simply breaking up of the rocks, while gradation is erosion, transportation, and deposition of these rocks. As in, gradation is the erosion of rocks, transporting of the sediments by agents of gradation, and deposition in a low-lying area. Agents of weathering are already present in the atmosphere, like temperature, while agents of gradation are on the Earth's surface, like wind. The main agents of weathering are temperature, humidity, frost, etc., while the main agents of gradation are running water, ice, etc. Since weathering involves only breaking up of rocks, it is a static process, while gradation involves three different processes, hence it is called a dynamic process. Next, we move to the types of weathering. There are three types of weathering processes: mechanical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. Let's see the different aspects of these three types of weathering in detail. Mechanical weathering refers to the physical disintegration which results in change in size of the rock but not its chemical composition. Mechanical weathering is also called physical weathering because there is only a change in physical form of the rock, not the chemical form. Physical weathering takes place in two ways: change in temperature and the action of freezing water. So let's first see the change in temperature. Exfoliation or onion skin weathering is a result of change in temperature. Now, exfoliation takes place in hot and arid areas where temperature is very high during the day. During the day, because of the heat of the sun, the rocks expand. At night, because of the absence of the clouds, the desert becomes very cold, leading to contraction of the rocks. This process of expansion and contraction keeps repeating over time, ultimately resulting in cracks getting developed in the layers of the rocks, and ultimately they get withered layer by layer. Exfoliation is also called onion skin weathering because it breaks the rocks layer by layer. This type of weathering is very common in desert areas where the temperatures during the day is very high and at night the temperatures are very cold. For example, Arizona in USA. Freeze-thaw action or freezing action of water occurs high up in mountainous regions where there is very high rainfall or precipitation. Now, when it rains, water gets collected in the cracks of the rocks. At night, because of very low temperature, this water freezes. Now, frozen water expands and puts enormous pressure on the walls of the rocks. During the day, the frozen water melts and gets deeper into the crack, and the same process is repeated again and again. Ultimately, it leads to the breaking up of rocks into smaller pieces falling at the foothills of the mountains. and these broken smaller particles are called scree. Chemical weathering refers to change in the internal structure or chemical composition of the rocks. Chemical weathering occurs due to chemical action of air and water on the minerals that are present in the rocks. This process is highly influenced by high temperature and abundant moisture. Chemical weathering occurs in four ways: solution, oxidation, hydration, and carbonation. Dissolution is the process wherein rainwater, especially acid rain, dissolves the soluble minerals present in the rocks. Minerals like limestone and gypsum dissolve in water and get carried away in the form of solution, leaving behind just the rock which is weak and gets withered. Some minerals present in the rocks react with atmospheric oxygen or oxygen present in rainwater, leading to decomposition of rocks. This process is called oxidation, which is very similar to rusting. Hydration occurs when water combines chemically with certain minerals present in the rocks. When they come in contact with water, they expand. Hydration causes stress on the minerals present in the rocks, which get separated into loose particles and disintegrate. Example, feldspar. Carbonation occurs when carbon dioxide mixes with rainwater, forming a weak carbonic acid. This carbonic acid reacts chemically with certain minerals of the rocks and disintegrates them. For example, limestone that forms karst topography. Weathering caused as a result of action of plants, animals, and human activities is called biological weathering. Biological weathering can be caused by two agents: by plants or trees and by animals or human beings. The penetration of roots of plants and trees deep into the cracks of the rocks lead to disintegration. In the same way, burrowing animals such as insects, worms, and rodents also actively contribute to the weathering of rocks. As the roots of plants grow within these rocks, they exert great pressure on the rocks, causing them to break or disintegrate. In the same manner, burrowing animals like insects and worms also break rocks into much finer particles so that they can get disintegrated. Many activities of the human beings directly or indirectly lead to the weathering of rocks. Human activities such as mining, construction, excavation of building foundation, deforestation, etc., all result in fast disintegration of rocks. So there are two effects of weathering: a positive effect that leads to the formation of soil, and negative that leads to landslides and mud flows. So children, I think this much would be enough for today's session. In the next session, we will start with soil profile. We will discuss about the various factors affecting soil and different steps that we can take to conserve soil. So in the meantime, please go through the chapter. Any of the doubts and queries are most welcome. And in the meantime, just take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.